Running Fred is a 3D video game made for iOS, Android, and PC. The game was created in 2012 by a video game company, DEDALORDGAMES Studio. They are most notable for these games, all of which make up the Fred series. Simple summary of Running Fred. Fred is the main character of the game. He finds himself trapped inside a strange world, and is being chased by a Grim Reaper. The game is similar to other endless runner games, such as Temple Run and Subway Surfers. You control Fred by running, jumping, and dodging obstacles, while also being chased. There are 3 worlds in the game: Grizzly Manor, Danger Caves, and High Stakes. Each world has 10 levels to complete. When you've completed all 10 levels, you then be able to play the endless version of the worlds. However, these can only be played in survival mode, which is seen on the main menu. Lots of cool avatars you can buy. You can also upgrade your skills or buy power-ups to help you through levels, challenges, and avoiding Grimmy. You can also replay levels in the game to receive medals, or collect Grimmy idols to unlock a special avatar. Play survival mode as much as you want to get a higher score. The game is iconic for its intense gore. Yes, Fred is prone to bleeding and injuring himself very easily. In fact, in most of the Fred games, he will always get hurt by any object that touches him. But why is this the case, you might ask? Why is this poor guy, Fred, always getting himself into dangerous situations? And what is the backstory behind this? Lore explained. So, how did this all start? It all began with this game. Falling Fred is another 3D video game by Dedalord, created in 2011. This is the very first introduction to Fred. Fred is a man who is very unlucky. He is known to be an anxious and foolish person. He unintentionally finds himself in sticky situations. The story behind this is Fred accidentally fell down into an elevator shaft. He is then sent to the hospital, and a newspaper headline labels him as a half-wit who survived while falling. We are not sure how or why Fred was falling down an elevator in the first place. We could only assume Fred just has bad luck. However, this leads us to another question. Who or what is causing Fred's pain and suffering? Meet Alfreddo, Fred's evil twin brother. He is a very mean, shameless, and spiteful person. He enjoys causing chaos and watching the world burn in his eyes. Alfreddo first appeared into comic strips for Running Fred. He has never appeared in any video games until Football Fred. This first comic describes Alfredo's life and the activities he enjoys. Basically, he pushes people on train tracks, tells people how to themselves, studies biology to make incurable diseases, and dresses as a Grim Reaper to scare old folks. This second comic is where Fred's constant agony all began. Alfredo wants to buy a hat for himself. Of course he doesn't have money. So, because he can't afford the hat, he sells Fred's soul as his own to get it. But here's the problem. Because Fred's soul was sold, it was also turned into a contract. Which means his soul now exists for all eternity. This means Grimmy is summoned to kill Fred and collect his soul permanently. According to the comic, Fred is dead for about 2 minutes in hell. Then there's also these things called hell bureaucrats who decide whether a person's soul should be in hell or not. Fred's soul was not one of them, so he is resurrected back to life. Basically, he's immortal and can never die again. So how do these three games connect to each other? They are connected because Alfredo is the main cause of Fred's suffering and immortality. In fact, this loading screen text from Skiing Fred states that Alfredo was the one who placed all of the traps and obstacles for Fred. So, in conclusion, Fred's unluckiness is created by his own brother, who enjoys his misery. Fred has to keep running from Grimmy, avoid obstacles, die, then get revived for the rest of his life.